Right, Dillian White wants to fight Deontay Wilder next. What was it? Dillian White says he would like to get a chance to fight the former WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder following his fourth round knockout victory over Alexander Povetkin on Saturday night in Gibraltar. Dillian with 28 wins, 2 losses, and 19 knockout wins avenged his loss to Povetkin with 36 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, or 25 knockout wins in the headliner event on DAZN and Sky Sports box office after knocking down the 41-year-old fighter. Now that White's rematch business with Povetkin is done, he would like to fight in July so that he could box a third time this year in December. It would be a quick turnaround for White to fight in July, but he didn't take any punishment from Povetkin, who looked old tonight, like a fighter much older than his chronological age of 41. As far as fighting Wilder, 42 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 41 knockout wins, White has doubts that whether he'll ever fight again. He's been out of the ring since his loss to Tyson Fury in February 2020. White talks about his mandatory status. His legal clause is the WBC mandatory challenger because he's already waited 1,000 days. He said White to fight Herb about his belief he shouldn't have to wait in a year or two before he gets a crack at the WBC world title. He shouldn't be waiting any more time. He should really get back his WBC mandatory again. And it's not like he's a new mandatory challenger. He's an old mandatory challenger. I should be low or be able to fight in the next 3 or 6 months for the WBC title, said White about his belief that he should be fighting for the WBC strap within 6 months. White, 32, might be strong about his belief that his mandatory status with the World Boxing Council is back to beat Oscar Rivas in July 2019 to become WBC mandatory. Wright lost to Povetkin last year in August, which means he lost his WBC mandatory status and his interim WBC title in that defeat. You don't keep your mandatory status when you beat, and that's not how it goes. Really, White should be either brand the new WBC mandatory challenger starting on day one, which means he has to wait a year before getting his title shot. Dylan thinks he can force title shot in 3 to 6 months. White's talking about getting his mandated title shot in 3 or 6 months, and that doesn't make any sense at all. I don't think for a second the winner of the June fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury will face White in 2021. They're gonna make him wait until 2022. 1,000 days that White talks about him being the number one ranked contender, not the mandatory. There's a difference between being the number one ranked contender and being the mandatory. You have to fight in an official WBC eliminator to become mandatory, and White chose not to fight Luis Ortiz when the WBC ordered the fight in 2018. Instead of taking the fight, White waited a year before he finally fought the WBC in a WBC title eliminator against Oscar Rivas in July 2019. He became the official mandatory, not the 1,000 days that White is talking about. White is now a brand new mandatory to enter the WBC starting all over again at day one, or not 1,000 days, or whatever he thinks it is. When you lose to someone, you lose your mandatory status, and that's what happened to White last year. He would like to fight Wilder. We don't know if Deontay Wilder is ever going to fight again, said White when he asked if he would like to fight Wilder. He has no interest in fighting again. All he does is post pictures with guns, alcohol, drinking weed. That's all he posts. I haven't seen him boxing or training or talking about boxing. And haven't have you seen him talking about boxing? He may never fight again. He'd love to smash his face in, but if he's not gonna fight again, what can he do? You said right about Wilder. If Wilder chooses to return to the ring soon, it won't be against White because there's no money in that fight. Why would Wilder take a low level fight against White when he can force a title shot against Fury and make big money? Wilder would be a perilous fight for White, and he could be sorry if he ever takes that fight. To the punching power that Wilder has would make it difficult for White to stay upright for 12 rounds. With the 6'7" Wilder size, he would beat Whyte, unlike the 6'2" Povetkin, who lacked the height and arm to reach the consistently land. Dillian expects to fight in July. He'll probably start training again in the next week and does nothing else in July. I'd probably, he said Whyte when asked if whether when he expects to fight next again. If he books in July, he can fight in December, and it's all a quick turnaround, said White. If White fights in July, it won't be against Wilder Fury or July. It also wouldn't, what was it, be against the win of the May 1st fight between Derek Chisora and Joseph Parker. It will likely be one of these guys White faces next. Zhang, Adam Konaki, and Michael Hunter. It's always on the fight talk, and I'm out.